Good. Checking all the streams, yeah. So we're live. Good morning. It's a beautiful Monday morning, the 26th of April, 2021. Happy birthday to my daughter. Thought I'd better add that. We're having a lovely celebration later in the day, so that's going to be fun. So we're here for our Lenormand card spread reading this morning. I have got the Lenormand deck out again, so I'll switch it over to that. Certainly tune into your intuitive senses, your psychic senses, your gut reaction. Listen into what spirit or that inner self is telling you as you're getting the messages from these cards. So here we've got them. I decided on a different layout purely because it is public holiday, still part of a weekend. So I'm not using the 5-card spread, I'm using a 6. So it's just that slightly little bit different. And good morning, Judy. Good morning. So you're on the ball. You're in time to watch from the start. So that's lovely. Now, this is the deck that I'm using. It is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck. Artwork by Sarah Marchetti. It's a lovely deck of cards. I've been using them for a while now, so I'll continue to really enjoy using them. They're just a nice, easy deck on the eye, and they've got a lot of messages in them, just the way that the artwork triggers some of those things coming in. So I really enjoy that. Now, let me see. Just because I haven't got the tablecloth here now, it's looking a bit different, isn't it? I'm going to see what type of tablecloth I'm really wanting to put on this folder. Yeah, what colour background? What we've got is a mix of colours today and a mix of cards, really. So how I thought I would actually read them this morning is what is above is what is in our conscious level of understanding, and what is below is in that subconscious level for this morning. So that's how I'm sort of reading that one for this morning as a spread. Okay. So good morning, Rena. I gather my Twitch is probably a bit slower this morning because the Stream Elements has popped in a bit slowly. And yes, the illustrations are wonderful there, aren't they, Rena? I love this deck of cards. So, and yes, you've caught me live this time, Nikki. So it's great to see you here in live, real life type. Yeah. So we've got Kathy Schultz as well over on the Be Live. Good morning with those beautiful heart emojis. Mary, good morning. How are you this morning? And we've also got Trina. Good morning to you too. Thank you for being here. And we're going to read it that way. Is going to be what is above is the conscious, what is below is more that subconscious, what's going on underneath that we're not really fully aware of. So with the mask, the scythe and the older woman, I'm feeling the energy of that is just suggesting, look, some of the masking that we're doing in our life, the hiding behind the mask feeling is what I'm getting with this. It needs to have a bit of work done in chopping away at that is superfluous. It's sort of like weeding out what habits we have that we're actually sitting behind a mask that we actually don't need anymore. And I'm feeling that it's more the older woman, whether you're around my age or older, as far as having life experience behind you and feeling into, there's more to just keep on keeping on with what things have been going. But it's also not so much about trying new things. It's actually uncovering that which we've hidden for a long time or hidden behind. So that's why I'm feeling with this, even for those of, it doesn't matter what age you are, there are some things that we're hiding behind that we don't need to actually keep doing all the time. There are times where you need to have that protection, like you've almost got something in your hand ready to hack at the weeds, ready to get rid of what you don't need to have in your life. It's what it's feeling like, as in, so that we're not vulnerable all the time. It is okay to have a mask there as that level of protection. But there comes a time where we do need to actually bring ourselves out of that state of vulnerability so that we can strengthen those muscles, get our hand to the tool, to what we're using at the time, to actually strengthen it and get it moving forward, so that we are going to have that reward, that harvest, that future that we want. We do all plan for our future. That's why, the tools that we've got in our toolbox, as far as our understanding and our wisdom, the lessons that we learn from mistakes, as far as this older woman in her wise realm goes, it really is. The lessons have been learned, but there's still some that keep being made. And it is that revealing of that, working on it and putting it in that next section of what life is going to bring us, until we finish with this physical body and move on to where home is, wherever that understanding is for you. So here we are with that is a more conscious, because we can, if we really sit and think in our own space, we can know what are our habits. Oh, look, I really need to get doing that again. Yesterday, just as an example, I had forgotten. There's some things you can't do without until other things take their place. For me, yes, I'm on medications. Yesterday, I forgot to take them, purely forgot. I didn't have breakfast. I normally have them with breakfast, and then there's the evening session, that's the other half of it. And I just purely forgot both instances. So my body habits and having been used to that, there was a little dizziness by the end of the day, and other things that occurred that I realised, oops, can't forget to do certain things. So certainly getting that, the memory, the things that need to be remembered into action, but also to work on what things aren't necessary anymore, right? So it is that bit of discernment, and these are conscious things. As far as, yes, I know these things off the top of my head. I'm meant to take my tablets every day, that type of thing. So some things you can't get rid of immediately, but you can work towards it, and that's getting a different path of wellness happening, okay? Here in that subconscious, there's sometimes, with the labyrinth, that really is trying to find your pathway. It's working your way through the puzzle. And I suppose it's the puzzle of life. And sometimes we do feel like there's other things in that background nibbling away. I do feel that in this instance, it's probably the ego, because the ego likes to come in and rat around and steal little bits and pieces of your energy till it gorges itself and it's chewing away. I love the mouse card. I think it's a really gorgeous little card. But in the context of subconscious, yes, the ego does like to poke its head up, steal away what is that is more connected to your spiritual centers. And, it's almost like, here am I in that center of attention. I always want to be the center of attention. So it's going to steal away what is your natural feeling towards what your pathway is, and your natural appreciation of the beauty that's around you and being grounded in the rest. It's trying to take the focus. So move that out of the way. Don't give the ego that energy that it's demanding. We certainly need it for our flight, our fight-flight response, and that self-protection in the level of it is a need. It is something we have to have for the physical being and wellness of our, that inner radar, this subconscious level of being safe and supplying for ourselves our food and things like that, but not to the point where it's going to take over in that subconscious level, bring itself up all the time into that conscious state. It is there, but know that we actually do have control of how we respond to the ego, and we can direct our own path on that inner level. Tune into that inner self, that subconscious level, to really find your way. Trust that instinct of which direction you're meant to be going, that you're needing to be going, meant to be going, what your whole design of your persona, personality, character, and everything, all those traits, and why you're where you are, in the environment you are, the living the way you do. It is, there is discussions that can happen around predestination or in the flow, and everything is by chance, etc., etc. No one's ever going to know for sure. Honestly, it's just we are living in our life, in our bodies, and we need to trust that instinct that we have, that intuitive sense and connection that we have in that subconscious level, because it's where a lot of it does happen. It keeps us in that safe mode and that knowingness and connection with spirit. So with the park, it's bringing what we have in our most natural state. Even though this is a manufactured park, it's still a beautiful space of nature, and it's enhancing exactly what nature is in its beauty. So that inner beauty coming up and out and into our conscious level, and the appreciation of that. So be on that pathway that you know within you is where you're meant to be walking, and taking that time. Good morning, Julia. I did see you there. So lovely to have you here this morning. So feel into that, because this is more an inner feeling state, that subconscious level, so that you're not like taking direction from yourself. You are trusting that inner direction, that inner compass, that map that we've got, that's our labyrinth. And each and every one of us has that, extremely individually and independent of others. And yet we are all connected in that greater pathway that takes us to that central focal point. And here we have another central focal point. So it is like there's the oneness, the appreciation of all things in that humanity that we are, and still being able to be the individual that we are. Okay, like there's that woman, that man, wherever else any of us are in that pathway. And yes, the ego is there for its purpose. Just don't let it control us. So I'm feeling with this set of cards that we've got quite a thoughtful process for today as to which do we want to have our focus on. Tune into the cards, as the picture on my profile is the static one, or you can go back to the replay and press pause and see which card does your eye go to first. Where's the emphasis going to be for you? What are you wanting to take notice of most? And tune into that and see what other messages there might be for you. You probably it's 100% guaranteed that you're going to have a different interpretation to those cards than what I am once you hone in on them for yourself, because we are all individuals. But in general, that's the gist of where the cards are for the day today, as far as my own interpretation goes. Yours, flow with it, grow with it. Tune into that inner sense of you. Hi, Karen. Lovely to have you here this morning too. So have a wonderful day. For here in Australia, we've got the public holiday for our Anzac that was yesterday. And have a wonderful day. Spend the time out in nature, like the park suggests, appreciating what beauty you have around you. And, at some point in time, just have a bit of a Zen space moment or two that you can actually sit and close your eyes and really feel the energies of what that is around you in that, like a park-like space or grounding. Because sometimes with the monkey mind and that maze, that labyrinth that's in that bottom section, the unconscious, we feel like it is a monkey mind and we can't stop it. You sit, take a breath or two with your eyes closed and just relax the shoulders, and you're just dropping into a space. That's how I do it, and I've been doing it that way for many years now, that you just feel into that energy that's around you. And it's just so blissful, even if it's just for the moment or two that you close your eyes for that. I'll leave it there. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. I have no idea if I'm going to be back on anywhere today with a live stream or not, with cards or otherwise. So have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow at least 8 o'clock. And namaste.